Hey, and welcome back to the next episode of Times of Adventure, my old school essential solo RPG campaign. We had a little break for a couple of weeks now because I was busy, but today we're going to continue. We made this adventuring party in the last episode, and we have a treasure for them as well, which you can see on the map here as well. That would be here. And the adventuring party, they bought that treasure map for 50 gold pieces, and the treasure is only 1,000 gold pieces, so it's not too much. It's not too far away, just a couple of days travel from Rydale. They are led by an elf called Ialanon Ladir. This adventuring party is not necessarily out for treasure, but they assembled because they want to gather experience and become proper adventurers, because his brother was betrayed in a dungeon and was killed, and he wants revenge. And they are all friends. Some of them are friends of friends, but in general, they all know each other, and that's why they founded the adventuring party, the Lanterns of Selik. I have this small guy here. He is going to represent the party on the map. Going to place him on Rydale. Again, by the way, these are like paper miniatures you can find on the Patreon accounts, Paperforge and Printable Heroes. They are awesome. Really, really well drawn. If you remember from the last sessions, we used outdoor survival for the general outdoor survival rules, but with the adventuring party we are going to use OSE rules exclusively. So this life die that we had that was like counting down from 6 to 1 is going to be gone, and we are going to use the survival rules from OSE, and I'm not going to go over them because we are just going to start playing and I'm going to explain them while we are going. Before we start though, I want to say a couple of words about the party's equipment and how they are traveling. They have purchased a couple of items, not a couple of them, actually quite a lot. The list is going to be on the screen. I didn't print that one out. They also purchased a cart and 2 mules, and after that they still had money left, so they got 2 hirelings who are going to take care of the animals and drive the wagon while they are in the dungeon and on the road. And they also got a retainer, a level 1 fighter called Yara Hog, a half-orc, and that one is going to remain with the 2 hirelings and the wagon outside of the dungeon, and going to watch over and protect the wagon and the 2 hirelings while the party is in the dungeon. They may leave one of their adventurers outside as well. I'm not sure, we will see. They can only travel 12 miles a day with the cart, so they can travel 2 hexes. No, they can actually travel 4 hexes. 1 hex is 3 miles, so they can travel 4 hexes a day. And let me think about if I forgot something. The rules are pretty simple. You see them here in the left green box. They decide a course where they want to go. We roll if they are lost, and then we check for wandering monsters. We describe what's happening, and then it's the end of the day, and I'm going to update the journal. The journal looks the following. You can see that here. I have 12 days, and on one day they will lose a quarter of movement because of bad weather, and it's going to be on the first day. That bad weather, I rolled all of that before, and I'm going to update this while we go. If something happens, if they like how many rations they're using and so on. They have food for 10 days in total for everyone. They can also forage and hunt. For hunting, they have to remain on the hex, and then they have to find animals as well. Game animals, and foraging they can do as part of their daily routine. They don't have to stop, and the chance is 1 in 6. If they have, do they have a barbarian? If they have a barbarian, then they have a 2 in 6 chance for foraging, but they do not. And on the 27th of December, 3 days after they purchase the map, they are going to start their journey. So we decide on a course. They know where it is. It's there, so they say we go southwest. Let's see if they are lost. The chance is 1 in 6, so let's just roll a die. Since it's a grasslands, 1 in 6. Are they lost? They are not lost. Alright, so they can move 4 hexes a day, 12 miles, because they are having a cart and a mule. We said they lose 25% because of the bad weather. It's snowing and they can't really see too much, so they're only going to be able to move 3 hexes today. And I didn't even say something about that, but as you probably realized, the map changed a bit. I made a simpler map of that we had before, because it's just easier now to see in which hex we are, and to also see which hex counts as what. So this is forest, grasslands or clear, hills, swamp, and that's it. And those are like rivers. And here we have a bridge, that's a fort we can use to cross. And there are probably more forts up the river, but that has to be explored. All right, so we can move as we want. River does not hinder movement, only broken lands, a desert forest and hills by 33%, jungle, mountains and swamp by 50%, and maintained roads make us move 50% faster. We don't have any roads here now, so we're just going to move with this like normal movement speed over clear. So we're just going to say 1, 2, 3. 3 hexes. Now let's see if we have an encounter. It's a 1 in 6 chance since we are still in the clear. No encounter. That's the first day. So they travel 8 miles and they don't encounter anything. It's cold and it is snowing really heavily, but towards the evening, the snow settles down and everything becomes rather quiet, and they find a place on the edges of the forest, a small grove, whatever, where they can rest. Let me update the journal. And every time I do this, I'm going to cut the video so you don't have to watch me like update the journal for a minute. I think I'm going to say that they are trying to forage, but since it's winter and it's going to be really hard to find anything, I'm not going to use a D6, I'm going to use a D10. A 1 in 10 chance for them to find 1d6 rations for human-sized creatures. Nope. So they are going to use 11 rations, and the first day is over. Are they lost? Nope. 1 in 6 chance. Okay, so they move their 1, 2, and they move 1 hex into the forest, which is actually more dangerous because they have a 2 in 6 chance for an encounter now. And there is an encounter. They usually happen at the end of the day, so let's say it's around 6 in the evening or something when they encounter something. So we are in the forest. We roll a d8 to see what kind of encounter we get. Do I have a d8 here? Yes. Those are normal animals. Forest, 1 is an animal. We roll a d20 to see what kind of animal. And we rolled a 20. That is a dire wolf. Oh, dire wolves. That is bad. Okay, so the dire wolf, they turn up at numbers of 2d4 in the wilderness. So let's see how many they are. 2d4. So that is 1 and 2. So they encounter 2 dire wolves. Let's see who's surprised. There is a 2 in 6 chance. Red is the monsters, blue is the party. 2 in 6 chance that either is surprised. We surprise the monsters. Okay, so now we have to think about this. I don't want to meta this because me as the GM or as the, let's say, like observer would say, do not engage them. That could be, even if it's only 2, the likelihood of a dire wolf killing at least 1 or 2 people is pretty high. And since they are really inexperienced, they are seeing them and we surprise them and then we just say like they don't engage them. They just wait and the dire wolves move on. They don't realize they are there and all is good. Okay, I'm going to write down though that they encountered dire wolves on the 2nd day. All right, so let's see if they find food, like they go foraging. Let's see, 1 in 10 chance because of the bad weather, no food. So they use 11 rations again. Next day. So they're in the forest now, and let's see if they lose direction. Chances 2 in 6. They are lost. Okay, in which direction are they moving? We're going to say 1 is north, and then we are going counterclockwise, and 6 would be in that direction. That's a 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that is exactly where they want to go. So they move 1 hex down, and they arrive at the location where that treasure map leads to. I'm going to put the map onto the screen because I made a small map for the entrance area, and they're coming from the north and they're moving down, and we're going to say they just arrived there, and let's see if they find anyone. I'm going to say, I'm just going to see if they have an encounter. They come there and it's on the beginning of the day, maybe 12 noon, maybe 1 p.m. So let's say there's a 1 in 6 chance that there is an encounter. Yeah, I think 1 in 6 is okay. There's no one there, okay? So they like arrive there and they look around and everything is snowy. They're going to put their camp where they stay just outside to the east. So like just a bit to the east and like a small clearing. They're going to move the horses in there, hide the wagon, and that's where the retainer and the 2 hirelings are going to stay. I'd say it's unlikely that they leave like one of their adventurers outside, one of the party members, to join the retainer and the 2 hirelings. So I am going to use the fate chart from like the Mythic Game Master emulator again, and we just take the 5th column for the chaos factor, so no, like a normal chaos, so to speak. And I'd say it's very unlikely that they leave someone outside because they want the party to be as strong as they can be. So it's a 25% chance that someone is left outside. And it's a 89. Alrighty, so they are going to go in full force. They won't leave anyone of their party outside, so it's only going to be the retainer and the 2 hirelings outside. So for the dungeon, I have created this like small adventure a couple of years ago. It's based on the Delian Tomb by Matt Colville, a very good YouTube channel as well, running the game. It's the series is called. And I don't want to say too much about it because we're going to explore it, but it's a shrine to an ancient old goddess called Ilariel, a goddess of strength and power, a good goddess. The shrine has been overrun by some creatures. I have the dungeon here as well. I'm going to take him away and put the dungeon on so we can see. I've made the map myself as well. The entrance value will come in here as well, and it's the 1st level, and that's going to be 1 more level. 1 hex, 1 square, obviously. 1 square is 10 feet. They're going to come in here, as I said already, and they are going to take a couple of things in the dungeon as well. They're going to take that from the card. I put it on the screen. It's marked in yellow what they take with them, and they're going to separate that on like over the characters, especially the magic user, the ranger. They are rather light, and the thief as well, so they are going to be some sort of pack mules too. Their party sheet looks like that for the dungeon. We have the following order. I'm going to put this a bit closer. In the 1st row, we have a paladin and a cleric, then fighter and a ranger. We have a fighter and a thief, and in the last row, we have another fighter and a magic user. They are going to be able to move 60 feet per turn because the slowest character can only move 60 feet per turn. It seems really slow, but you have to keep in mind that they are exploring, so they're moving really, really slow. And they also don't know what is going to wait for them, so they want to make sure they don't run into any traps or anything else. If they have to run, their speed will be, well, the speed will be determined on an individual level, but if they run as a group, their speed would be 180, but then they wouldn't be able to look out for any traps or whatever. I think we are set for the dungeon. I have made a encounter table as well, and I'd say let's go. So how this is going to go down is the following. They're going to move per turn 60 feet, meaning 6 squares per turn. Each turn is 10 minutes, and 1 turn per hour they have to rest. So that's going to be the last turn. Every 2 turns I'm going to roll for wandering monsters. I have a table for that as well, what they can encounter. And if a fight breaks out, we are going to use a battle map. I'm going to put on top of the board, and then I'm going to assemble small miniatures, and we're going to have a fight. Talking about skills and stuff, so dwarves, for example, they have certain chance to open, to find room traps and to detect construction tricks like slightly sloping corridors and stuff like that. So, and since these characters would know that they have these abilities, they will obviously also use them if it makes sense. So an elf will obviously always look for secret doors because they have a higher chance to find a secret door. They can spend as much time as they want exploring rooms, but for every 2 turns we're going to roll a wandering monster, so the more time they spend in a dungeon, the higher the probability of more encounters. We're going to start over here. They walk down the stairs and they see smears of red and brown on the walls. Behind, like under these smears, they see images and engravings of scenes of battle and warriors training, and often also a woman clad in armor and wielding a longsword and a shield. probably that goddess, Hilario. They arrive in that room, in the first room, this one, and there's no one in there. It seems like the walls have collapsed, and there is a statue at the back of the room. It has crumbled, and it's also been defaced. So it seems whatever's living here doesn't really like this god. There's like brown stuff all over that statue, maybe poop, whatever. They walk up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And while they are doing this, they are going to, the dwarf is going to check for traps. They have a 2 in 6 chance. It's the ranger. No trap. All right. They move further. So the first turn is done. Oh, I forgot something. They have 2 torches because the humans can't see anything and there is no light, at least for now. This room is entirely dark. So they're going to have a torch, and I'm going to put this in here. As you can see, torch, and the duration is 1 hour, so 6 turns. And the first turn is over, and they just move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to that door. So the door is stuck, and the first thing that the elf in front is going to do, he's going to listen at the door, because they have better hearing than the others, so they have a better chance, and it's a 2 in 6 chance to hear if there is something behind the door. They hear something. Alrighty. Since it's the second turn, I'm going to roll for a wandering monster, and the chance is 1 in 6. So let's see if they have an encounter. Yes, they have a wandering monster. So they hear that beyond the door, meaning that the party can't be surprised, but the monsters can. Let's see what they find, what is behind the door. It's a D10. Alrighty, so they hear movement beyond the door, and it seems to be quite a couple of creatures. I'm going to roll another die. It's really quiet in the dungeon, so let's see if the elf who's listening at the door. So he has his ear at the door, and he hears definitely talking, but he can't make out what language or what is said. So I'm going to say it is a 50-50 chance that he can make out what kind of creatures are behind the door. It's an 84. He can't make it out. Let's roll the encounter. Let's see if they are... It's my first solo campaign, so I have to see. I don't want to meta too much. So what would they think? They are 8 people and they hear a couple of them. Let's actually see how many there are. It's 6 creatures behind the door. So it's actually probably... They are talking. So let's see if they are surprised. 2 in 6 chance. Not surprised. Does the party... Do they wait if they maybe come through the door and they can at least stand around the corner and wait for them, or do they just like push through the door and engage them? I think the elf at least knows what like how many they are. So I'm going to say they say it's 6 creatures, we are 8, and they don't make too much noise. You don't hear heavy footsteps. So it seems they are smaller creatures. I would say since they want to press on, it's likely that they are going to just try and push the door open as hard as they can, and maybe I roll another surprise die depending on the roll for the opening the door. But I'm going to say, are they going to push through? It's likely. So 65. Everything lower than 65 is a yes. I'm going to roll that again. That's a 47. So they are going to push through. Alrighty. So we have a fighter. 2 fighters, one of them has a 4 in 6 chance, the other one has a 3 in 6 chance to open a stuck door. Alrighty, so one of them manages, the other one doesn't. Like one of them has a 4 in 6 chance, the other one has a 3 in 6 chance, so only one opens the door, so there's no new surprise. Let's see at which distance the encounter occurs. Distances in the dungeon is 2d6 times 10 in feet. So it's 100 feet. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I just go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alrighty. So that's where the others are. The creatures I'm going to get a token out, and as you can see now, they encountered 6 goblins. I'm going to put the goblins here. So they push open the door. The goblins turn around. They jump a bit, but they aren't surprised. So they turn around and they look at the adventurers. You see them bring out their scimitars, and combat is on. All right, I'm going to get the battle map out, and then we are going to see what's going to happen. So as you can see, I've set up the battle map, and you can also see my amazing artistic skills here. I have brought over these pillars in the room because they are important for hiding if someone wants to take cover. And there's the party. Here's the goblins, 6 of them, 8 of our people. And if you would play with actual players, you would tell them now to say if their characters are going to move. And in this case here, I know that every one of them is going to move. The mage is probably going to take cover, the halfling thief as well. And the others are probably going to try and get closer. And the goblins will fight as well. They get a morale check from the second round on. They want to defend their lair, and there are only 2 less, and they might seem small, and they are rather small, like 3 feet tall, but they are dangerous. The party should not underestimate them. The first step is to see who is going to have initiative. Red is the monsters, blue is the party. The one that is higher has initiative. The goblins move first. Okay, so the goblins can move 20 feet in combat. So what they're going to do is they're just going to move up behind these pillars. They're not like necessarily intelligent, but they are cunning and they know that combat is dangerous. So I'm going to move him over here, and I think they're pretty much all going to try and stay together for now. Okay. And they don't have ranged weapons, so they can't attack. And they also want to stay close to the door here in case that they have to flee. Okay, so the party is going to move up, and they all have different movement speeds here. I am going to move them first, and then we're going to see if anyone is shooting a missile, or if anyone gets close enough to get into combat. The elf is going to move up 30 feet. 10, 20, 30. Then we have the mage. The mage is going to move 40 feet. And they are going to move behind that pillar here. We have the first fighter. He can move 32. So he's going to move 10, 20, 30. We have the cleric. She can only move 20 feet because she's rather heavy. So she's going to move here, take cover behind these rocks. The ranger and the other fighter. The ranger is going to move 10, 20, 30. He's going to stay here. He's going to shoot. Then we have the last fighter. He can move 30. He's just going to move 10, 20, and 30. I know he's going to move here. He's going to take. And then we have the halfling. The halfling is going to take cover behind here. And the last fighter, she's just going to move and take like cover behind these pillars as well, behind these rocks. Okay. He's going to shoot with his hand crossbow on the goblin. That is 10 feet. That is in optimum range. So it's a d20 plus 1. Yeah, they have to roll a 13, so a 12 because they get a +1 bonus. It's a 4, so he misses his shot. Ealanan. Oh, I just call him Ledire by his last name. He misses his hand crossbow shot. Then we have Thunda. She is going to shoot her sling. She gets a +1 on missile. So she has to roll a 12 as well. She rolls a 10, so she misses 2. Gamma, he has a -1, so he has to roll a 14 to hit with his short bow. He rolls an 18, so he hits. Short bow has 1d6 damage. 5. He shoots that goblin. The goblin has 3 HP and is dead. So that goblin instantly dies. Headshot. Then we have Ever. He's behind that. He's not going to shoot for now. And then we have Argeth. She sees that that goblin, the hand crossbow, range is 30, so 10, 20, 30. So she does not get a bonus from range, but oh, she has a -1 on missile, so she has to roll a 14 as well. She rolls a 10, and the mage is not going to do anything. She's going to keep her spell for later encounters, hopefully. She doesn't have to use sleep yet. Okay, next round, one goblin is dead. None of the party took damage. Who has initiative? The party has initiative. Red is always the monsters. We do movement first again. He is going to, I think he's going to move up to here to engage that goblin in melee. Then we have Wen. She's going to move up as well. She has 10, 20, 30, 40. She's going to remain behind that pillar though. She doesn't want to get hit. We have our cleric and our fighter, like one of our fighters. The fighter can move 30. So he's going to move 10, 20, 30. He's in range now as well. He's actually going to move here. So he has better view for his javelin. Then we have our cleric. She can only move 20. She's going to move 10, 20. Our ranger, he can move 40, so 10, 20. He's going to stay here. He's going to shoot again with the crossbow, with the short bow. We have our other fighter, 10, 20, and 30. The thief is going to move here, so he can shoot too. He's actually going to stay here, so he can shoot through them. He has a clear line of sight. And then we have our other fighter, our female fighter, and she's going to move 10, 20, and 30. Missile attacks. The ranger is going to shoot his crossbow again. He needs to roll a 14. A 20, okay. He rolls a d6 again, and he's going to attack that goblin. That's only 1 damage. So goblin 5. Then we have Ever. He's going to shoot that goblin with his crossbow. Definitely in range for that. Yeah, the range is 80, so that is 10, 10, 20. Yeah, definitely in range. He has a +1 for missiles, so he has to roll a 12. He misses. That's it. So now we have a melee, and we're just going to go through. Like Gladire is going to attack with his longsword. He has no bonus for melee, so he needs to roll a 13. He hits for a d8 damage. That's 5. That goblin is dead. He just cleaves him over the chest, and the goblin collapses. Then we have Argith. She is going to attack as well with her longsword. So she has a +2 for melee, so she has to roll an 11. She rolls a 4, so she misses. Okay. And that's it. Now the goblins get morale. Their morale rating is 7. We had that before. 2d6. Everything above 7 they flee or surrender. Everything below they fight. And it's a 5, so they fight. Okay. So now the goblins move up. That goblin moves here. That goblin moves here. They're all going to attack Argith. And that is, I think they would definitely do that. Gang up on one. And I think this goblin is only going to move over here. And it's not going to attack because they don't want to split off from the group. Armor class is 6. So the goblins need to roll a 13. 3d20. That's an... I rolled it again. That was... Okay, no hit. That's a hit. And that's a hit. Okay. So 2 hits. That is, they attack with the short sword, or that is a 1d6. She has 9 HP. Let's see. She takes 4 damage. She's bleeding from the attacks, so they have to bandage her up if she should survive. And that's that round. Next round, the red is monsters again. They have initiative. Alrighty, so they're just going to do the same. They're going to attack. And that guy, he's going to move here. And they're going to try and engage Thunder. So again, 3d20 on Argith. If they roll a 13, then it's a hit. No hit. One hit. Oh, so it's just one. That's 3 damage. Okay, she has 2 HP left. Okay, so she's already quite low, Argith. Turn it a bit so you can see that a bit better. And now that goblin is going to attack Thunder, and she has an armor class of 3. So they have to roll a 16. Roll again. No hit. All right. They all see that Argith is surrounded, so they are all going to try and rush there. So Ealanon comes from the back. Gamma moves here. Thunder moves around. Ever comes closer. He can move 40, so 10, 20, 30. He's going to move up here. Artis, he can move 30. So he's going to go 10, 20, 30. He's going to move down here. Wow, this is a proper brawl now. Winces, he can move 30, I think, as well. Yeah, so he's going to move down. That's 10, 20, and then 30. And then we have Wen, and Wen is just going to move here so she can see. She's actually going to move here. Okay, and it's all going to be melee attacks. So we're just going to go around. Artis, he gets a +1, so he has to roll a 12. He doesn't hit. Argith, so she has to roll an 11. She hits with a longsword for a d8. 5. That goblin is dead. Their leader, Ladire, he's also going to... He hits as well with a longsword for 8 damage. That goblin is dead. Then we have Winces. Winces, he attacks with a +1. He doesn't hit. The goblin dodges. We have Gamma. He is going to attack that goblin. And with a d20, that's an 18. He hits. So the goblin is also dead. They have 3 HP. I think that was the one. Yeah, that one only had 2 left anyway. And then we have that one. Thunder. Let's see. Thunder hits. And Ever hits as well. So Thunder attacks with a Warhammer for a d6. And the goblin is dead. Alright. So, first combat actually pretty well. Only Argith took quite some damage. So they're going to bandage her up. They have a first aid pack. So they use a bandage and bandage her up. The Paladin is going to use Lay on Hands. Yeah, so he's going to use that ability that is 2 hit points per level by laying their hands on wounded characters. So she gets back up to 4. That is at least a bit better than 2. So after combat, they obviously search the goblins. They find 40 electrum pieces, which is 20 gold pieces. So one of them puts that in the pockets. That's fine. And now they're going to, I'm going to say they're going to take 1d6, I'd say 1d4 turns to search the room. They take 4 turns maximum. Okay, so they split up. They are 8 people, so they split up 4 people in like 2 people in each corner. Along the walls is destroyed furniture and collapsed stuff. As they go down here in that corner, the pair, let's say the 2 fighters, the 2 male fighters come down here. On the pile of rubble, they find a small chest, which is not even locked, and it's 7 gold pieces in there and 200 electrum pieces. They take one of the sacks they have and put that in there. The others don't find anything. So, and the elf went up here. As you can see here on the map, there's a secret room here. And the elf is going to take 2 turns to go and check along the room. As he walks over here, there is this statue, and he looks at the statue. There's a stone which is shaped like a gem, and it's set into the center of the shield of the statue. It's holding a shield, and the Gem is pressable. So let's see, 2 in 6 chance if he finds that. He does not. He has someone with them though, so they're looking too. Everyone else has a 1 in 6 chance. That is not. He's going to continue down and there's nothing that he finds. The others are going to pretty much do the same. They all walk through the room and look. So I'm going to take, say we have 2 more D6s for other characters to check to see if they find that secret door. Let's say 3. I mean, we have 6 people, like 6 other people in these like groups. So they all walk around and they get like, each group gets a D6 to see if they find the door. None of them find the door, they all have a 1 in 6 chance. I guess they are just unlucky, so they don't find that door. None of them sees that gem that you can press. Alrighty, so after around an hour, they have finished these 2 rooms and they have encountered a first group of goblins, which seems to indicate that goblins have overrun or taken hold of this shrine. They continue down in their marching order. And as they continue slowly down, they are going to check for traps, look at the floor, stuff like that. They all come together here. The goblins have installed a tripwire here. And here is a makeshift shelf with bottles and pieces of metal and stuff like that. So if they trigger that tripwire, this will go off and make a huge clamor and probably alert someone deeper down the dungeon. The first 2 people will get a check and the second 2 as well. And there is a dwarf, and that's why I put the dwarf there in the second row, because they have 2 in 6 chance to find traps. So we're going to roll 46. I'm going to roll the first 2, both like a 1 in 6 chance. Let's see if one sees the trap. Yes, one of them in the first row sees the trap. They stop and they look and see it's a tripwire. I'd say the elf, he's very agile. He steps over it and he just goes down, and with a knife he has, he cuts the tripwire and everything is fine. And they just move on. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are here now. Let's see if they get a wandering monster. 1 in 6 chance. Nope. As they look around in this room, they see 2 more doors. One is here and one is here. And now I'm just going to say they it's a 50-50 chance which door they take. I roll again. 1, 2, because I didn't say like what is what before. 1, 2, 3 is the left door, and 4, 5, 6 is the right door. They take the left door. Alrighty. They take 1 turn though to search the room, and the elf goes over here and listens if there is anything behind that door, if he can hear anything. 2 in 6 chance. He does not hear anything. Okay. The door to room 6 is stuck though. So the 2 fighters, one of them has a 4 in 6, the other 3 in 6. So I'd say this one is for like that 4 in 6 chance fighter, and the blue one is for the 3 in 6. Yeah, so they open the door, rather easy, almost no sound. They move down, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They get to here. 1 more turn, and that is a wandering monster check. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They get to here. Room 6. They go around the corner, and as soon as the light hits, they see that there are stairs leading down into the 2nd floor of the dungeon. I think a check would be appropriate if they decide to check out what is behind that other door. Like to go back and see what is behind the door, if there's maybe treasure or something. I'm just going to give that a 50-50 chance. So 1, 2, 3 is they go and check out that room before they go down. They go back. Alrighty. So they decide to go back. I'd say that took a turn, and they go back and wandering monster check. No monster. They eat something, they drink something, and go back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 1 turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is another turn. So they get to here. Turn him around so he actually looks the right way. That is 2 more turns, and that's a wandering monster check. No monster. So they go here and that takes another turn. And he stands in front of that door, and the elf will check again if he hears something. He does not. They go back, and the two strong people go in front and try to open the door. It's Vince's and Artis. Let's say this is the 3 and 4 chance. This is the 4 and 4 chance. 3 and 6 and 4 and 6 chance. And they open the door. Vince's pushes open the door, and as soon as the door opens, there is an incredible smell of, animal. It just smells like in a zoo. In a room, like a zoo in a room without a window. As they walk into the room, they see 8 giant rats. And there's also like some very crude fencing. So it seems like these goblins, they are holding these rats in there. And it's going to be combat again. So I decided to stop and cut the video here because there is still 30 minutes left and I just think it's too long for one episode. I'm going to upload the second one right after the first one so you can, if you want to, instantly continue watching. I thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, then like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'd say see you next time. Bye bye.